Working? Internet? Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday. It's Kisa. I don't have my characteristic music in the background, but I'm working on it, working on it, working on it. Let me see if I can find some good music for us this evening. Not yet. Anyway, happy Sunday. Kisa Sharp Jefferson, and getting ready to talk to you about the reset. Hope that you've had an amazing weekend and you're actually ready for your week. So I know that we already have someone on, so thank you so much for tuning in, listening to Hope Darst called Peace Be Still. Hope Darst, Peace Be Still. I want to encourage you today to sign up for reset.kisasharp.com. Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in on this Sunday. Won't be on here very long, but we're going to talk about the reset and why you need to be a part of it. So if you can, I want you to share out the broadcast while we give folks a few minutes. Y'all are coming on in here on this Sunday. Coming on in. Hey everybody, Kisa Sharp Jefferson, personal coach, life change strategist, and relationship coach. How many of you have had some relational issues in this season? How many of you are tired of suffering relationship failures? How many of you are tired of trying to figure out the whole relationship game? Well, I don't have a gimmick for you, but I do have something for you that I believe will be of great benefit for you. It's a 30-day boot camp of sorts. Hey, everybody, welcome on in, welcome on in. Come on in, come on in. Kisa Sharp Jefferson. Just typing it in so you'll know exactly where to go for this. Add a banner. Let's see. Let's show this ticker here. There we go. Hey, everybody. I see some folks are speaking to me this morning, so let me go ahead and get on. And let me see. All right, let me see what you all are saying today. Hey, Larissa. Me. Okay, Larissa, you need this? Let me go ahead and get started then. Listen, I've been where you all are. Hadn't gone on dates in years before I got married. Really, I went through a season of like 3 years where I didn't date, did not understand why relationships weren't working for me, met a lot of people. And when I say met, I mean met and kind of kept them at a distance, okay? But with all of that, it became very frustrating because guess what? I still wanted to date. I still wanted a relationship. I am a once divorcee and only once divorcee. I claim that in the name of Jesus. So I've been divorced. So if you are even at the tail end of a relationship, if you are going through a divorce, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, we can even be married and we can find ourselves in trouble in our marriages, okay? So sometimes you can find yourself in trouble in your marriage and you need to hit a reset button. That's why I'm doing this. It will not be complicated. I don't believe in taking up 5 hours of your time, not as an adult learner. I don't believe in that. But I believe we can work on some things that are simple. We can work on some things consistently each and every day. And as we do that, as we use our affirmations and we confess our affirmations over ourselves, as we do the work, okay, as you take the action steps to reframe your mind and reframe your heart, guess what? You line up for the relationship that you desire. I'm not, and listen, I've read the stuff that's out there. Lots of folks have game for you. Lots of folks have gimmick for you. Lots of people will tell you about a formula. Lots of people will tell you that they can tell you how to meet the love of your life in 30 days or less. That is not my promise. I take a different approach to it because guess what? Here's my promise. My promise is that there will be a reset in your mind and your heart, which prepares you for the love of your life. Because in my opinion, and really it's not opinion, it's really the truth, the most important asset that you and I bring to a relationship is a whole Kisa. Listen, I see Larissa on here when I was asking who needs this. Larissa Webb says, me, Larissa, reset.kisasharp.com. Hey, Deidre, how are you doing tonight? So the most important asset that we bring to a relationship is ourselves. So we can spend all this time understanding how to meet a guy. We can spend all this time finding the formula to be in a relationship. We can spend all this time trying to figure out and read up on information. But guess what? Once you get the information and once you get the formula, once you do that and you meet the person, what do you do then to keep them? So, okay, yeah, they can show you how to meet a high value man. They can show you how to meet the love of your life. But if you are not whole, if you have not dealt with your issues, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? You can't keep them and you won't keep them. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. So it's just like, it's almost like a child, and just go with me with this illustration. Like with a child, you say, I love my child, so I want my child because they've done so good in their studies and because they've been so smart and so obedient. I want my child to drive a Rolls Royce. Why? Because my child deserves the absolute best. So I'm getting my baby a Rolls Royce. Notice I said child. Your child is not accustomed to even keeping up a Honda. So you go and get your child a Rolls Royce. There's a certain way that car needs to be driven. There's a certain way that car needs to be handled. You can't just jump into a Rolls Royce and say, I'm going to drive it and show and impress my friends. It probably even has a different mechanism to even put it in gear, I would imagine, okay? When you get into the more expensive cars and the luxury line of cars, there's a different way that you have to handle them. You normally can't just jump in and go. It's different, but that's what separates them. Do you get my point? So you have to graduate to that. That child has to graduate. That child has to have a knowledge. That child has to have studied up on it. That child needs a tutorial and they need to learn how to manage the Honda or the Toyota before they get up to the Rolls Royce. They need information. Do you hear what I'm saying in relationships? You can have the person of your dreams right in front of you. But if you don't get the information, if you don't deal with your issues, if you don't understand how to get the best out of him or her, if you don't handle it properly, you won't keep it. So I'm taking the approach of stepping back, okay, and allowing us to deal with the junk. And listen, add COVID on top of that, add COVID and the pandemic and the protests and the racial tensions on top of everything. We need to just go back and reset. So who is this for? It's for single women who've never been married. You've been dating, but you haven't quite found the right one. So it's for single women who've never been married. Single women who are single again. You were married, but now you're divorced and you're back on the dating scene. Listen, been there, done that. And I took a vow. It's not for everybody, but I took a vow. And I said, Lord, if it's not the one, if it's not him, I don't even want to go out with him. And I didn't, y'all. 3 years. I sat on the sidelines. Now, from when my first divorce was over, I was excited and I really wanted God. I was like, I was ready to date. But God said, no, ma'am, you're not ready. You need to go back and relearn some things. You need to unearth some things with you. You need to figure out what it is that you desire. Because if you just get back out there on the scene, I think you have to have a lot of self-awareness to understand what you want and what you need. Because as you become older and as we age, ladies, and grow in grace and wisdom, our needs and our desires change. So what you desired at age 25, you likely won't desire and you likely will not appreciate and not have the same interest at 45. Why? Because 20 years of life have sustained you. 20 years of life have gone by and you've seen some things. Your perspective of the world has changed. So who is this for? Single women never married, single women divorced, married women who need to hit the reset button. You just need a reset button. You may be unhappy. You may feel like this is a terrible season in your life and you just need a do-over. You need to get around a support group of women. And hey, listen, y'all who are on, do me a favor and share out the broadcast. So if you don't need it or want it, maybe someone that you're connected to may actually need it. I would really appreciate that if you would share out the broadcast for me. So married women who just are unhappy and who need to hit the reset button. And thanks for sharing it out, by the way. Thanks in advance. I won't be on long tonight, but if you want to sign up, hey, it's here. I'm making myself available, and boom, and I'm going to move on after that. What about married women who want more fulfillment out of their marriage? And even married women who may be on the verge of divorce or thinking about divorce. It's all of that. It's for all of you. And Marlo, I saw you shared it out. My notification let me know, so I appreciate you, darling. And listen, this will be a confidential group. So it's not to put your business on blast. I'm open with my life because I feel in my openness and in my transparency, I can help you. I recognize everybody is not ready for that. I recognize everybody doesn't want that. You may not want people to know, that this is a tough season in your life. This will be a confidential group. This is not about exposing you. This is not about trying to embarrass you. It's about trying to get you some help. So how are some of you feeling right now? And if I'm talking to you, I want you to go ahead and sign up, reset.keisasharp.com. $197 one-time payment or 2 payments of $115. But it will be 30 days to change your life and to change your thinking. And I know it's an investment, but guess what? You're investing in yourself. And when you invest in yourself, you're guaranteed to reap a reward. How is your life now? You have a desire. If I'm talking to you, and this reset for you is for you. If you have a desire for a fulfilling relationship, but you question yourselves, you're questioning yourself like, what's wrong with me? I know I'm attractive. I know that I am, I'm successful. I have all this success in other areas of my life, but why can't I sustain a successful relationship? If you have that question, this is for you. If you have that twinge of jealousy every time you see someone post on Facebook about their boo or their relationship or it's their anniversary, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, this is for you. Hey, Tamika. Tamika is my red velvet cake plug. Tamika gets me in trouble with those cakes. Jesus, they're so good. So let her be your plug too if you need some cakes. She does fantastic German chocolate, fantastic red velvet, key lime cake, the works. So hey, Tamika. You may feel desperate right now. You may be feeling lonely. You may be feeling scared. You may be full of fear about a relationship or lack thereof. I've been through all of that. You may feel hopeless. You may feel just exasperated. Like, Lord, why? Why me? Oh, slim, sexy, and thick. Oh, I feel you. Oh, I feel you. She said, I get jealous. That's how I was. I felt all of that. And that's normal. That's normal. Because you're looking and you're thinking, what's wrong with me? You know what? How does she? I mean, let's just be real. Those thoughts come to our head. How does she? And I've got it going on. I drive this car. I get my nails done. I keep my hair tight, my makeup on point. Why not me? That's normal. But I'm going to show you in this reset that when we start reprogramming our mind and reprogramming our hearts, we just need to be in position. I'm going to show you how to get in position. I'm going to show you what worked for me. And it wasn't a fancy formula. And I didn't have anybody to walk me through this, y'all. I had to piece it all together from my 30 plus years of dating to the information that I just soaked in for 3 years, listening to dating experts, watching videos, pulling it together, reading books, downloading audiobooks. And it's just like it's downloaded. And now I want to give it back to you in a compressed format. So you don't have to spend 3 years, because the thing that I realized in all that time, I needed to get me together. Number one. And number two, I needed to recognize him when he came. Number three, I needed to make sure all that past junk was out, the past failures, the envy, the jealousy, the anger, and I needed to look at myself and see what role I contribute. See that right there? A lot of people aren't willing to do that. See what role you contribute into your relationship failures. Maybe you're too desperate. Maybe you, like me, had a smart mouth. Maybe, you are jealous. Maybe you're too easy. Come on, somebody. It's a tough conversation. Maybe the second he calls you, or he looks at you, you're easy. You want to cook for him. You let him come over your house and he can spend the night. He can do whatever. Men like a challenge. Let me tell you that. That's a freebie tonight. Men like a challenge. What are your lingering thoughts that you don't share I'm talking to somebody tonight. And I want you to sign up, reset.keisasharp.com. You're afraid due to failed or unfulfilled relationships. You have low expectations. You know, you talk to women and sometimes they get in a circle. Girl, all these men, girl, I'm just getting tired. Girl, Larissa Webb says, woo. Hey, Larissa, let me tell you something. I'm not talking, I'm not a person who can't be touched with the feelings of your infirmities. Listen, hon, been there, done that. I'm just straight, real, and raw. Because guess what? You won't get help until somebody is straight, real, and raw. Straight, no chaser, as Steve Harvey's book says. Read that book too. Great book for you to start off. Act like a lady, think like a man. Another great read. Those are 2 freebies I've given y'all tonight. Woo! You wonder if true love will ever happen for you. You wonder, why can't it happen for you? Sabrina Dion says, teach, Keisa. Hey, my darling, love Sabrina. You wonder if it will ever happen for you. Then you start wondering, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I have a lasting love? What makes her you don't mean to. You don't mean any harm. You don't mean any harm. No, that's your feelings. The only thing about it is you've got to you have to counteract your feelings with information. You've got to figure out, what do men like? What is a high value? If you missed my broadcast 2 days ago on Thursday, go back and look at the broadcast on Thursday. I talked about being a high value woman. Men like high value women. Now, when you do that, you're going to separate yourself from most women, because there are a lot of women who tend to be easy. You know, they'll take whatever comes. But when you start to invest in yourself, when you start to have standards, when you start to say, no, I won't accept that, and no, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to be like everyone else, you're going to separate yourself. But when you do that, then you start separating yourself and putting yourself in the category for a high value man. Go back, listen to that teaching, because I give you tips on a high value woman and what she looks like. And that can be anybody. That's learned behavior. No high value woman came to the earth like that. No, she learned to be that way. And if she learned to do it, you can too. I had to learn what high value was like. And once I learned, I didn't turn back. Okay, 3 things that are stopping you from getting help. It may be your pride. Well, I don't really need anybody else. I don't need anybody else to tell me how. Okay. So you're going to keep on in your same cycle. You're going to keep on complaining. You're going to keep on being disappointed and frustrated, but you're not going to allow anyone else to speak into your life, someone who's been there. I'm like Jesus. I can be touched with the feelings of your infirmity, because I spent lonely nights. I would drive down the road going to my corporate job, my 9-to-5 successful job, making all the money in the world, and going to bed at night lonely, going down the road crying, asking the Lord, but why? I don't understand. I have trust. I'm going to just continue to have faith, even though I'm disappointed. I'm doing all I can. I'm learning what I can. I'm reprogramming my mind. I want to help you reprogram your mind, because guess what? My labor was not in vain, although at the time it took work. And then I remember, I'll never forget this angel God sent to me, an older lady by the name of Miss Fanny. Miss Fanny said, I said, well, I'd gone on a girls' trip. Check it out. About 3 years after my divorce. And I said, I feel like I'm studying. I feel like I have my own life. I'm traveling. I'm hanging out with my girls. I'm doing all the right things. And I still don't have the relationship I desire. And she said, how long have you been divorced? I said, 3 years. She's like, oh, honey, you're good. She's like, that's no time. She was like, 3 years. She said, it took me well over 10 years to get married again from my first divorce. 3 years? She said, you're good. You're fine. That reframed my mind. And y'all, I tell you the truth of the matter. It wasn't but a couple of days later that after I came off of that girls' trip from the beach, that I was introduced to the man that I married today. I cannot make that up. I cannot make this up. Days later, I was introduced to the man coming up. It's like she was sent there to just let me know, you're all right. Don't be dismayed. You're okay. It's like God had her there to tell me that. So your pride could be one thing that's stopping you from entering to the love of your life. Hurt, holding on to your past hurts. You're just gonna be hurt, and you're not gonna let it go. You refuse healing. You know, sometimes we can refuse healing even from Jesus. We can refuse it. Well, no, I just choose to hold on to it because he hurt me so bad. Honey, don't waste your mad on him, especially if he's gone on with his life. I know women who have divorced men, and those husbands have gone on to get married, and they still remain single, still angry. Please don't let that be your story. Forgive him, bless him, and move on. His loss. And go on and receive your good thing. Go on and receive your blessing. Okay? All right. What else? Cynicism. I told you about that. All men are. Men don't change. No good men out there. Don't believe the hype. How will your life become better after, and I'm rounding the finish line here. How will your life become better after finishing my program? Your heart and your mind will be positioned to receive. You're going to walk away optimistic. You're going to understand that Kisa's not special. In fact, no woman who's married or who has the great relationship is any more special than you or me. Nope. God doesn't work like that. God doesn't work like that. What he does for me or another woman, he'll do for you. We just have to be in the correct posture. Even though we've made mistakes, even though we've done some things that we're not so proud of, even though we just failed at it, and the failure may be our own fault. What we're going to do, we're going to reset. We're going to reset your heart. We're going to reset your mind. I cannot promise you a man because there are other things that you're going to need to do. There are other things that you're gonna need to do. You need to write out a vision for what you want. You're gonna have to get out there and date. You're gonna have to say no to that which doesn't serve you well. You're gonna have to uphold a standard. There are some things that you're gonna have to do after it. But here's what I can promise you. I can promise you'll be positioned. If you go through the program and do the work, you'll be positioned. You're going to have a whole new mindset, and you're going to have some tools to help you to have your boundaries, to help you write out your vision, all putting you on that path. Who was it? Ruth, who gleaned corn from Boaz's field. God didn't just give her Boaz. He didn't just give her a husband. He put her in position. Come on, somebody. He put her in position. Put her in the field, and God, the favor of God came on her life and was on her life because of her ability and her heart to serve Naomi, her mother-in-law. And God put on her, on a man, a wealthy man's heart, that woman, let her get extra. It's not all the way, it's not all the time that God just drops something in your lap. He puts you in the area and anoints you with his favor. And people take notice of you. That's a tip for you, okay? How will you feel after? Empowered. You'll feel revitalized, confident in your uniqueness and wholeness, and capable of receiving. You'll feel worthy, full of joy, open, optimistic, healing, expectation. And when you're healed and when you're whole, people see that. You stand out. When you're bitter, angry, full of cynicism and sarcasm, it's like you have this sign on you saying, whoop, don't go there. Men sense your energy. People sense your energy when you are negative and pessimistic. And who wants to be around that? And you can't blame him. Heck, there's people I won't be around because of their negativity. So I want you, and why do I believe that you'll benefit from choosing me? Because I'm a healer. And I come by way of experience, like they say in the Baptist church. I come by way of experience. I'm not talking from statistics. I'm not talking about from what they said. I'm talking about from what my life has produced and the positivity that it's produced. And I want to help you to have a shortcut. So in closing, why do I want you to sign up for this program? Okay, I'm going to share my heart for just a few minutes and I'm gone. Reset.kisasharp.com. One-time investment of $197 or twice investment of $115. Number one, I care about you personally. I want you personally to win. I don't care about the formula. I remember I am a life coach, and I remember coaching a client, and I remember telling her she was really concerned about the relationship and all the stuff this guy was doing and how he wasn't treating her. He wasn't doing this and he wasn't changing and he did this and he did that. And I said, woo. I said, you're exhausting me because all I hear from you is what he's doing. I said, my job as a coach, I'm not concerned about him. I need to get you to wholeness, and I need to get you to a place of being okay. Because if you're okay, it doesn't matter if he ever changes. It doesn't matter. And you'll understand, it doesn't matter if he ever changes. His loss or his whatever, you need to be in a place of hope. I am concerned about you being whole. Number 2, I can show you the way toward heart recovery, because I believe in digging up. I believe in getting in the muck and mire, and I believe in dealing with it. As a life coach, I'm not qualified to be a life coach, only accept the fact that I deal with my personal issues. It can be ugly sometimes. One of my main keys is telling people to journal about their feelings, journal about what they want, write it down. Why? Because a journal is non-judgmental. You can share whatever you want with that journal. And when you start getting it out, your heart knows exactly what you want. And when you get it out, you can have a clear picture of the path to take. Works in everything. You need a solution for something in any area of your life, journal. In love, you don't understand what's going on, journal. Write about it for a few days. Your hopes, your fears, your likes, your dislikes, your loves, your desire. The journal won't judge you if you want you at 50 years old, you still want your 2.5 kids and your husband in the home with a white picket fence. Your journal will not judge you. Write it down so you can see the vision and get it out of your heart. Then you'll start to see things align in your favor. Number 3, I'm real and I have real experiences. That's why I believe that I'm the coach for you. No gimmicks. Number 4, my approach deals with the whole woman and not just you trying to get a man. I'm concerned about holistically your life and you being a better person, you fulfilling your purpose, you finding joy in life, and you being able to see the gift that God has given you of your life and your uniqueness. God says you're fearfully and wonderfully made. No need to be like another woman. Honey, it's not about how you look to get a man. You want to look your best, but your looks can get him, but your looks won't keep him. Let me say that again. Your looks can get him, but your looks will not keep him. Sex, you might think will get him and attract his attention, but it sure won't keep him. There's somebody who can move a little bit better than you or who may have a little bit more sexiness than you. You better come on, somebody. What you need to recognize is you need to recognize your secret sauce, and you need to recognize your what gifting. You need to recognize what it is on the inside of you that separates you from all other women. And that's the thing that you need to hone in on. And that's the thing that you need to discover. And number 5, and finally, I can help you not only attract the love you desire, and I can help you position yourself, but I can help you keep it. Because remember that I said at the beginning of this, the best asset and the largest asset that you bring to all of this is a whole you. Okay, it looks like my computer tried to freeze a little bit. That's all I have for you. Reset.keisasharp.com. I'm going to let you get back to enjoying your Sunday evening. And for those of you who hung in with me, thank you. I want you to sign up. Reset.keisasharp.com. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have an amazing, amazing Sunday, okay? And don't forget to share the video out for someone else who may need it. Bye. Have a good one. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.